James navigated through the bustling streets while his phone balanced precariously between his shoulder and ear. The gentle hum of the car's engine mixed with his mother's voice, a familiar melody of concern and affection. She was in the midst of one of her usual tirades, this time about the recklessness of drivers glued to their phones, oblivious to the world around them. James couldn't help but chuckle at the irony, a laugh that bubbled up uncontrollably. "Why on earth are you laughing, James?" His mum's voice crackled with confusion over the line. "Well, Mum," James began, the grin still evident in his voice, "I'm actually driving right now, too." There was a momentary pause, the kind that felt like the calm before a storm. Then, with a sudden sharpness that made James wince, his mum snapped, "James Thompson, you hang up this phone right this instant! Do you hear me?" The mix of worry and anger in her voice was palpable, a stark reminder of the risks he hadn't considered. "Say hi to Dad. Bye. Love you." Ending the call, James couldn't help but wear a broad, satisfied smile. James's steadfast determination and methodical approach to his goals were undeniably inherited from his mother. Her unwavering nature and persistent efforts in achieving her objectives had left a significant imprint on him. This was evident in how his assistant, Dustin, described him, albeit behind his back, as "my fanatic boss." Yet, this title was worn as a badge of honor, a testament to James's unyielding drive and meticulous attention to detail. In the professional arena, James was known for his seriousness and pragmatism. His colleagues and business partners often described him as grounded, somewhat reserved, and notably aliamus in problem-solving. This perception was widely accepted as fitting given his background. James, a small-town native born to parents of humble occupations, a school janitor and a bus driver, had, by the age of 35, ascended to the helm of a thriving wholesale business dealing in frozen goods. His success story was a testament to his grit and determination, supplying a vast network of stores, restaurants, and wholesale warehouses across the region. Despite his business commitments in the bustling city, James maintained a deep connection to his roots. No level of busyness could deter him from visiting his family in his hometown every few months. As he found his footing in the urban landscape, one of his first initiatives was to ensure his parents' comfort by offering to relocate them closer to him. "I'll buy you an apartment near mine," he proposed, "so I can always be there for you when needed." His father's response, though touched by the sentiment, was steeped in a lifetime of memories and connections to their hometown. "James," his father began, with a tone of pride and wisdom, "I've built my entire life here. Friends, favourite fishing spots, hunting grounds, mushroom patches. Retirement for me is filled with these daily joys. And think about it. How would I fit into the city life? I have no affinity for theatres or museums, no companions for fishing. The city life, with its apartments and enclosed spaces, is alien to me. I cherish the freedom of stepping into my yard, surrounded by nature's embrace." His father continued, painting a picture of a life intertwined with the community and the land. "Leaving all this behind would mean leaving a part of myself. Besides, a house needs to be lived in to keep it from falling into neglect. And you, James, with your burgeoning success, will someday want to create a family legacy. This place, with all its memories and traditions, could be a sanctuary for them, a retreat to connect with their roots during the holidays." Amidst the discussion, James's mother gently attempted to steer the conversation. James, initially hopeful, anticipated her support for his urban relocation proposal. To his surprise, however, she echoed his father's sentiments expressing contentment with their current life. "There's no need to spend your money on us, James. We're quite content here," she said, her voice filled with sincerity. "I do miss you dearly, but the thought of leaving our home doesn't sit well with me. This is where I've found my peace." Her words brought a light chuckle from James, a mix of admiration and resignation for his parents' steadfastness. "Your father and I are still spry," she continued, her tone playful yet firm. "We manage just fine on our own. Perhaps when you have children, the tables will turn, and we'll consider moving closer to help with the grandchildren. That is, of course, if we find common ground with your future wife." James knew better than to press the issue further. His mother, Dawn, was a woman of quiet resolve, her demeanour belied by her delicate appearance. Petite and blonde, with a soft and inviting face, she might have seemed pliable to the unacquainted. Yet those close to her knew of the iron will that lay beneath her gentle exterior. Dawn, with her unwavering tranquility and astute mind, had a knack for steering the family's decisions subtly, ensuring harmony without quashing the spirited independence of her husband. Inherited from his mother was James's own calm tenacity, fueling his belief that he could eventually sway his parents. His entrepreneurial success, marked by the rapid growth of his business, had afforded him the means to make a compelling offer. He purchased a quaint house, envisioning it as a potential new home for his parents, and invited them for a visit. "Take a look at this beautiful place," he urged, his voice brimming with enthusiasm. "The previous owner is around Dad's age and a wonderful person. We can remodel it to your liking. Choose any style you prefer. It'll be a joint decision," James proposed, hopeful that this tangible vision of a new beginning might just be the key to winning them over. Dawn's response to James's enthusiastic renovation proposals was both firm and gentle, rooted in a deep sense of family values and boundaries. "James, go ahead and tailor the renovations to your taste, or to whatever's in vogue. It's your home, after all. We wouldn't want to impose our preferences on your space. You'll likely want to create a home with a partner someday, and it's important that she feels it's her domain too. We're incredibly proud of you, and will always be happy to visit. But we have our own home that's dear to us," she said, her voice reflecting a blend of wisdom and affection. James, accustomed to the relentless pace of business and the constant drive needed to stay ahead, often found himself seeking brief escapes from the drive, a term he used metaphorically to describe not just the act of driving a car, but the entire whirlwind of his professional life. These moments of respite were spontaneous, chosen without much reason, yet profoundly necessary. It was the outcome, the brief recharge these pauses provided, that mattered most to him. On one such occasion, James pulled into a gas station on the edge of a small town, lured by the promise of a simple hot dog and a moment's peace to ponder his next move. As he stepped out of his car, the mingled scents of gasoline and the faint decay of grass filled his nostrils, an oddly grounding blend. His brief interlude was shattered by a sharp command, "Let the dog go, you freak." The abruptness of the voice yanked James from his reverie. Typically quick to respond to conflict or discomfort, his current state of weariness made him initially reluctant to engage, his body heavy with a rare, indifferent fatigue. The laughter that followed the command alerted James's instincts despite his fatigue. He had an inherent wariness of unruly groups, a sentiment that now prickled at his awareness. "Give back the dog," I said. The insistence in the voice pulled him toward the source of the commotion. Under the glow of a nearby lamppost, a scene unfolded. A slender, long-haired redhead in a cropped jacket and snug jeans, was confronting a group of boys.